Welcome to bLU Talks.
So I roll into town last night, and I'm excited to get into LA. I went to law school here almost 30 years ago. And I got an awesome sister here. Her name's Marlene. She's the most positive, inspiring person I think I've ever met in my entire life. Maybe until I met the last speaker here, who was excellent. And she says, let's have dinner. So I'm excited to have dinner. I said, what do you want to do? She says, let's get sushi. Fantastic. I love sushi. She says, we're going to go to this place. It's called Making Vegan Sushi in Agora Hills. Vegan sushi? Like, what's vegan sushi? You know you're in California when you're going to go have dinner and you're going to get vegan sushi. So I had a bad attitude, I have to admit. I wasn't excited about it, right? I mean, vegan salmon. I don't know. So my wife and I get there, and I got to say, if you haven't been to this place, you should check it out. It was amazing. It was the nicest looking presentation of sushi that I think I've ever seen in my life. And it was still really good. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just in awe about vegan sushi. There's this conversation going on at the table. And my mom is there, and my sister is there, and her husband, Steve, is there. Steve's this great guy. Awesome dad. I love a good dad and a good mom. Been a criminal defense lawyer for almost 30 years. You want to know the number one cause of crime? Bad parenting. I say it in court now, in almost every case. And the judge nods. The prosecutor nods. Government can't fix this. We got to fix this. So I love good parents. Steve's as good as they come. But Steve's upset. And they got this dog named Leo. And Leo is, you know, one of these designer, half this and half that. Great dog, but he barks all the time, and he's driving Steve crazy. And I understand this, right? I mean, he's up at night and barking all the time, and I'm sort of half listening to this conversation, and my mom taps me on the shoulder, and she says, Mark, what is it you would tell Steve about this situation? I'm no expert on dogs. But life is short. So all I could think to say is, Steve, you're going to die soon. I'm going to die too. We're all going to die soon. Life is short. But we're here now. Change the frame of the situation. And I'm thinking about someone I've been studying lately, the Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. If you haven't read Marcus Aurelius, read his meditations. He's not writing for you. The most powerful man in the world at the time is writing for himself in a journal. What he says in there blew me away. Lots of things, but one of the things he said is when you find a setback in life, and you're going to get setbacks, some of them will be tragic. Some of them will be bad, and some of them will be minor nuisances, like dogs barking all night. Say good. Good. I'm glad. It gives me an opportunity to grow. I'm still alive. I'm here. I can do something. We're all going to be gone. Everyone in this room, the day will come when we're all gone. But we're here now. I'm suggesting let's do something. Let's do something big. Look, we all got to sleep. We eat. We go to the bathroom. I'm not saying every second of your life. But if you care about this project that's been going on since humans have been on the planet, the project to advance humanity, more broadly speaking, life on Earth, I'm asking you to help. There's a group of people around the world who are coming together right now to start a global peace movement that we call Live and Let Live. We're looking for the good people of the world. Dennis Prager, popular radio talk show host, comes to mind. I first heard Dennis Prager when I was out here going to law school. He says there's two races of people. I always liked how he put this. The decent and the indecent. The decent people of the world are coming together. Say enough's enough. And I'm not going to hide what I'm here trying to do. I want to convince you to help. I'm going to begin with the end in mind. What do I want you to do? I want you to go to a website, liveandletlive.org. You don't have to go this second. But check it out. It's the home of the Live and Let Live global peace movement. I'm going to tell you what it's about. Check the box that says I'm in. I'm a member. Join people from all over the world. We just had our monthly meeting about a week ago. So inspiring. People from Africa, different countries, Nigeria, Cameroon, people from Poland and Portugal. There are 400 people now in the chapter in Portugal and in the UK, people from Australia and Canada, different places around the world who are saying enough is enough. We're for Live and Let Live. You're thinking, okay, is Marc a Republican? Is he a Democrat? Where's he coming from? I heard someone said he represents people in gun cases. I do. I represent people in all types of cases. I'm a real criminal defense lawyer. You're charged with a crime. My job to make sure you get a fair trial. Period. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're accused of. Period. Full stop. Where am I coming from? What am I trying to get done? I'm for Live and Let Live. Every single position that I take on every single issue will be consistent with that phrase. I can hear you already say, Marc, Live and Let Live. What does that mean? It means we don't care about how other people live. I'm going to tell you how we, in the Live and Let Live movement, define that phrase. But I'm going to ask you to do something first. My wife says, remind him about the Etch-a-Sketch. Remember the Etch-a-Sketch? You shake the thing or you push the thing across and it wipes everything out. Can we start from scratch? We're brothers and sisters. Let me just say, I don't care what package you come in. Don't care. And I'm speaking on behalf of everybody in the Live and Let Live global peace movement. We don't care what color your skin is. We don't care if you're religious or not religious. We don't care who you love. We don't care what language you speak, what holidays you celebrate. Don't care what country you're from, where you were born. We care about what Martin Luther King cared about. Do you really care about that? Content of character. That's what we care about. We're not trying to smuggle anything in. What does live mean? What could live mean? I mean, just be honest about it. What does the word live mean? Live your life? Live your life. That's what live means. What does it mean to live your life? You got to be the captain of your ship. It means you're running your life. You're in charge of your life. Could it mean something else? If you're not in charge of your life, someone else is in charge of your body, your property, your money, your time. We have a word for that, slave. To the extent you are in charge of your body, your property, your money, and your time, you're in charge of your life. Live your life. That's what live means. Now, does this mean we have nothing to say about how you live your life? We can make suggestions. And we, in the Live and Let Live movement, while we recognize your right to live your life, we got suggestions. They're suggestions. We're not trying to force these. We have a simple suggestion. Be a good human. You're saying, all right, Marc, what does this mean? You know what this means. You had a decent parent, somebody who raised you. You went to kindergarten, learned not to hit other kids and take their stuff, how to behave. That's be a good human. That's what it means. We're suggesting as strongly as we can. We want to inspire people to be good humans. But in case you need some more definition about being a good human, we've got some suggestions. We call them aspirational values. What are they? I'm going to tell you about them. Open-mindedness. Can you be open-minded on everything? You don't have to change your mind easily. Doesn't mean that somebody's got something to say and you change your mind because you heard somebody with a different opinion. But at least be open-minded to what they're saying. Tolerance. Guess what? People live differently. They eat different foods. They sing different songs, listen to different music. I think this is great. But can we at least be tolerant of how other people live? Doesn't mean you have to agree with how they live, but can we be tolerant? Can we be civilized? We're going to disagree on things. That's fine. Let's disagree, but in agreeable ways. Do we have to call each other names? Do I have to call you little so-and-so or such and such or make fun of you if we disagree? Can we be civilized? Do we have to yell at each other? We're pushing civility as an aspirational value. How about voluntary kindness? Not forced kindness. We're trying to force you to do anything. But can you be voluntarily kind? Because it's the right thing to do. Not because you have to. That's what kindness is. Forced kindness isn't kindness, really. It's not charity. It's not charity unless you don't have to do it. But you do it. Comes from the heart. It's what voluntary kindness is about. We're trying to encourage people to be voluntarily kind. We care about truth and facts, whatever they are, even if they're different, and especially if they're different from what we believe right now. Can you change your mind if the facts are different than you thought? We care about truth, facts, and rational inferences from those facts, and building high levels of trust with other human beings. Do you think this is important? Well, if you care about relationships with other human beings, all of them are a function of the level of trust that you have earned with another human being. Low level of trust, bad relationship. High level of trust, great relationship. We're encouraging people to build high levels of trust. Why do we care about this stuff? Why are we making these suggestions about how you should live your life to be a good human? I don't want anybody confused about what we're trying to promote. We are trying to optimize human happiness and well-being and minimize suffering. Those are our goals. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we're encouraging people in this area to live a certain way, to be a good human. Okay, so there's live. I explained live, right? You're in charge of yourself. I like to say you should be the iron-fisted. In fact, let me scratch that and start over. The unapologetic, iron-fisted dictator of you. Are you a competent adult? Okay, sometimes we don't all agree on what's competent. Sometimes we don't all agree on what's an adult. That's what we do in the system. We have different definitions in different states. It's okay. We got a pretty good idea what this is. But if you're a competent adult, I encourage you to be the unapologetic, iron-fisted dictator of your body, your property, your money, and your time. Live your life. We got suggestions. Okay, what's left in the phrase? Let live. I explained what live means. You know, we lawyers have what we call a rule of statutory construction. It works like this. When you use the same word in the phrase or the sentence, it means the same thing. So live still means live. People get confused about this point sometimes. But there's a let in there. Live and let live. What could this possibly mean? It means have the courtesy and respect to allow other people the exact same reciprocal rights to run their lives that you should unapologetically claim for yourself. Can you do that? Do you care about peace? If I say raise your hand if you care about peace, probably everybody raises their hand. If you don't raise your hand on that, this talk is not for you. I'll give you my card because I've represented lots of people. There are people in the world who do not care about peace. They're aggressors. I represent them. But if you're on the other team, the team that cares about peace, you can't just hope for it. You can't march for it, pray for it, hope for it, think about it. You got to have a plan to get there. We got a plan. We have a plan. How do you feel about aggression? Are you for it or against it? We're against it. We think it's wrong in all cases. Aggression is wrong. It's wrong for every single person. I don't care what they're trying to accomplish. I don't care what your goals are. I don't care what your motivations are. If you formed a little group with your pals, it's still wrong. You formed a big group with your pals, it's wrong. Are you a corporation? It's wrong. Are you the government? It's wrong. It's always wrong. In all cases, on all issues, at all times, no exceptions, aggression is wrong. I can hear you already. Mark, what's aggression? I can hear that coming, seeping through the audience here. This is what I do for a living. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. This is what we do in the criminal justice system. I can tell you what aggression is. It's the initiation of force against another person or their property. The initiation of force. I'm not including self-defense in this. Self-defense is a response to another person's initiation of force. What does that mean? You don't get to hit people. You don't get to steal their stuff. That's aggression. That's always wrong for everybody. All issues, all times. Fraud, coercion, wrong. Period. Then there's this other category. I like to say it to the non-lawyers as, don't do anything that puts another person in danger. It's a big category. This was a group of lawyers. I would say it a little differently. Don't do anything that creates a substantial risk of harm to another person or their property. That's what reckless driving is. You don't get to drive your vehicle in a way that creates a harm. This is why you don't get to fire a firearm up in the air to celebrate New Year's recklessly. You're creating harms. This is why we need rules about who gets what weapons. Whether you can store dangerous substances, how you store them. There's lots of stuff in that category. Are you putting another person at risk of harm? You're an aggressor. Don't do that. Period. That's what aggression is. Can we live with that? Should there be any exceptions to that? I don't see any reason to have any exceptions to that. That's rule number 1. Don't be an aggressor in the live and let live movement. Rule number 2, be a good human. What's important to know here? 1 is mandatory. No exceptions. It applies to everybody. Rule number 2, totally voluntary. This is the part where you might fall off the bandwagon. Why? What if I said that's controversial? You might say, Mark, I don't want to be a good human. I'm a jerk. I'm that guy. I yell at people. I don't want to trade with people. I'm biased. I'm prejudiced. I'm racist. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to try to convince you to act differently. I'm going to say, be a good human. You might say, Mark, I'm unconvinced. To you, I say, fine. You're not part of our crowd. But as long as you're not an aggressor, as long as you don't aggress, you can't put your hands on anybody, you can't steal anything, we defend your right to be a peaceful jerk. That's the cost. If you can live with that, you can actually be for peace and freedom. That's the price we got to pay. We got to stop trying to force our way of life on other people. We got to take morality, even the good stuff, out of the law. Let's get it done through convincing people to act certain ways. Okay, please go to liveandletlive.org. See the 2 rules. If you agree with rule number 1, don't be an aggressor. And rule number 2, the encouraging, voluntary rule, be a good human. Check the box that says, I'm in. Add your name to the growing group of people around the world who have said, enough is enough. We want peace. We got big harms coming from around the world. We got nukes everywhere. We got pandemics now that people can manufacture. There's artificial intelligence. We got to stop fooling around. We can't solve these on a local basis. We need a global movement. If you want to get more involved, please contact me. And thank you so much for your attention.